PJ Walker had his first NFL start, and this is a guy who came from the XFL. I mean, his story is incredible. He was cut 12 times from the NFL. He went undrafted. The only reason he went to the XFL is because Andrew Luck put in a word for Oliver Luck, the XFL commissioner, and said, you got to get PJ Walker in the XFL. And he balled out. He got opportunity, and he started. I mean, how did you feel about PJ Walker's first start?
You want to start or you want me to start?
You're going to talk longer than me. So I give him a solid, C plus B grade. I feel like he played pretty well aside from the 2 interceptions. I feel like for the most part, it took him a little bit of time to get comfortable with the game and get situated. But I feel like once he was comfortable, once he understood the game, he started to play really well. And they won the game. So, that's always a benefit. Regardless of how the quarterback plays, his first start was a W. So, shout out to him, props to him for getting that win. And I just think he played really good for the most part.
Yeah, I thought he was solid. I mean, he was by no means perfect. He was by no means great. He might not even have been good. He was just good enough. And it helped that his defense played really well against a Lions team that just looked lost. But, 24 of 34, 258 yards, a touchdown, and granted 2 interceptions. I thought he threw the ball pretty well. He had good pocket presence. He's a quarterback, and you could tell it's in his blood. Like, you could tell he's a quarterback at heart. And the one thing that he needs to improve on if he wants to seriously be an NFL starter moving forward is he's just got to get used to the NFL game speed. I thought that there were a couple throws he made that were just terrible decisions. I thought he tried to fit some balls into some tight windows that might work in the XFL, might have worked at Temple, but are just not going to cut it in the NFL. And if that's his biggest problem, that's okay, because that's something you can iron out and work on moving forward. The fact that he has the arm strength, he has the pocket presence, and he looks like he kind of belongs out there is all good signs to me. And it always helps to start with a W, even if it helps that your defense put up a donut. So I would feel good about it if I was him. It's not like he came out and looked shell-shocked, so it's a good sign in my opinion.
I thought he was okay. I mean, I think he's a great story. Is he a great player? Is he a starting quarterback in the NFL? I don't think that he is. I think he could be a good backup if he continues to improve. He had those 2 interceptions. I think both of them were in the red zone. One was a horrible decision. The second one was a horrible decision as well. I thought he was going to throw it away, but in fact, he threw it to a defender in the red zone. I think it was in the fourth quarter that he had that. But he also had another near interception. Him and Robbie Anderson had some miscommunication, and that was weird to me because they played together at Temple. So out of all the guys that you think he'd have good chemistry with, it'd be Robbie. I mean, he was finding Curtis Samuel. He was finding DJ Moore. The Robbie connection wasn't that great. But, yeah, I mean, to be honest, he had 2 interceptions, but I thought he could have had 3. When I watch games and I see, like, defenders drop interceptions, I always count that against a quarterback. I don't care about what the stats say. I count that against a quarterback. So I thought it should have been 3 interceptions. He was okay. I mean, the Lions' offense was really the story of the day for all the wrong reasons. I mean, they were horrible.
Yeah.
The Panthers' defense is good. They're just not good on third down. They have, like, one of the worst third down defenses in NFL history. So if they were able to, like, get better on third down, they might be one of the better defenses in the NFL.
And I'll say this, if I'm an NFL team looking for a backup, I think that PJ Walker could be one of the best backups in all of football. I don't know if I would trust him as a starter moving forward, but I think that he's somebody that in the right place, maybe with the perfect situation, he could eventually become a serviceable starter, but it's just a question of, like, is it too far down the road at this point for him to be a guy somewhere as not even a franchise quarterback, as somebody who starts for a year or two. I just don't see that happening. I think that he can be serviceable in situations like the Panthers where they just don't have anybody right now. Teddy's down and he needs somebody to play games.
I think what benefits
Will Greer was a top pick too. Like, I think third rounder, right?
Yeah.
Or fourth rounder, somewhere around there. And he took Will Greer's spot quick.
Well, PJ's only like 25, so he's still
26.
Young. Yeah, he's still young. And I think what benefits him is that the Panthers sneaky on offense have weapons. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Curtis. I know Christian McCaffrey's not playing, but he's still another weapon. So they have guys out there that can put PJ in a position to succeed. So I think that's going to help him going along the way.
PJ Walker in the XFL, he had 15 touchdowns and I think 0 interceptions.
Yeah, he was the MVP if the league.
Yeah,
He's the best player in the league.
He was. He was to the XFL what Lamar Jackson was to the NFL last year. Literally. Like, he was their box office guy. If they're going to do a commercial, it's going to be for PJ Walker.
He would have been on the video game cover.
But even his 0 turnovers, 0 interceptions in the XFL was misleading because he had a lot of them that were dropped.
Talk to us, man. How many?
I don't know how many were dropped, but he had some that were dropped. The stats were misleading. He wasn't as perfect at what they depicted. But yeah, I mean, this was a good first start. It was his first start. And hopefully he just continues to improve. I mean, the Panthers aren't making the playoffs. We pretty much know that. Who knows how long Teddy's going to be back. I don't know if he's going to be back in a few weeks, next week. Who knows? So PJ Walker has some time to show some NFL teams what he has, and I hope that he succeeds.
He was fun to watch. I mean, like, I wouldn't mind watching him. Obviously he needs to improve, but if I was a team, like you said, the Panthers are not making the playoffs. I think PJ Walker would be fun to watch the rest of the way. Obviously, when Teddy comes back, that's not a viable option, but, there's something there. You can tell he's not ready for the NFL game speed, like I said, yet, and he tries to make too many throws that would work in the XFL and clearly don't in the NFL. But again, that's something that I think can be fixed over time. But I didn't think that he looked terrible. I thought he was just good enough, especially with the defense getting a shutout.
Do you guys think Teddy is the long-term answer for Carolina?
No.
I think Teddy's good. I mean, I
know he's good, but is he the long-term answer?
He better be, because they might not have a top pick to draft a quarterback. The Panthers may not have a top pick. And they pay Teddy for a couple more years, I think 3 more years. Mm-hmm. I think Teddy's a good quarterback. If you get a better offensive line, their receivers are good enough, their defense is promising, they can be at the top of that division.
Well, for me, what do you consider long-term? Like, what are you talking long-term?
He's their franchise quarterback moving forward.
I would not say that. I think for the next 3 years, he can put them in a position to compete, but I just don't know, like, past that contract, if that's going to be the guy they go with. The only thing is, like Joel said, if they do start to compete, get that line a little bit better, they're not going to have that high pick to draft, an immediate, first whistle in the NFL quarterback. But I just don't know if Teddy is a guy that I would call my franchise quarterback. He's solid. It's no disrespect to Teddy. I think he's a pretty good NFL quarterback, but I don't know if I would want to consider him my franchise quarterback.
Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran.
My name is Jack Barteck.
My name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to, because it helps us grow. We're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.